I'm joined now by Edward Tse. He's the founder and CEO of the Feng Advisory Company, a strategy and management consulting firm. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, first, I'd like to get your take on Hong Kong's new leader and how people there in Hong Kong are reacting to it as well.
Yeah, Hong Kong have undergone several years of pretty tumultuous experience. Firstly, with the social unrest, and then with the pandemic, and so Hong Kong is, people are feeling quite uneasy actually for the last several years, and people had a very strong expectation for the new administration. So when Mr. John Lee was elected, I think most of us in Hong Kong are expecting him to turn out to be a great chief executive.
Well, I want to read you a quote he said recently after the election. I look forward to all of us starting a new chapter together, building a Hong Kong that is caring, open, and vibrant, and a Hong Kong that is full of opportunities and harmony. Compare John Lee's leadership style to Carrie Lam's.
Yeah, Mr. Lee came from a security background. I think people knew that he spent a long career, I think around 35 years or so, in the police force, and all the way until become the deputy commissioner of the police force. Then he joined the government, and he became the undersecretary for security, and then eventually become the chief executive before he went for election for chief executive. So his career has been largely, if not entirely, in the security sector. And I think people recognize that he has a lot of strength in making sure that Hong Kong will be governed under a better security environment. But at the same time, I think some people have some concern whether or not he's knowledgeable enough and versatile enough to cover the other aspects which is necessary to govern a complicated city like Hong Kong. And Mr. Lee has come out several times to say that in the future, it won't be him, just a single person, to lead the government. Instead, he would be working with a large team of people, in fact, all of the people in Hong Kong, to try to really think through in a team-based basis, but also with the result orientation, to drive Hong Kong forward and create the scenario that you described in his manifesto, which is quite a difference than in the style and the commitment from the current chief executive, who came from the government administration, administrative officer background, and she tend to work things more or less in the old style. So people have a lot of expectation for Mr. Lee for a new style of collaboration and working together.
And I want to ask you more about those expectations for his performance, and high expectations because, as you know, Hong Kong has been really dealing with COVID in recent months, the economy vitally important, and a long-time issue is affordable housing and the lack of housing there in Hong Kong.
Yeah, housing is a big challenge for Hong Kong. In fact, I think most people, everyone, including Mr. Lee himself, recognize that that's probably the #1 issue that we face in Hong Kong. And housing prices have gone up over the years, and it's become exorbitant. More importantly, it's very difficult for young people to have the upward mobility in the society, because whatever they do, they cannot afford the housing, or getting their own houses on their own. So it's a big issue now. So Mr. Lee has put it as the #1 priority for his government.
All right, Edward Tse, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us from Hong Kong.
Thank you.